Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon to miss any most excellent videos. In front of us we have the Panasonic RF-1150. It's an AM/FM shortwave portable radio with 6 bands. Panasonic introduced this as the Tech Series in 1976, and this was considered a Tech 1000. Kind of interesting information there. I purchased this radio used off eBay for a total of $100. Quite the deal. I see them running anywhere from $150 to $200 lately. I couldn't afford an RF-2200, so I decided to look for something different, and I'm really happy I found this radio. It is cool, so we'll get into it. Let's go over dimensions real quick. We have 10 inches across, 10 inches high, and a case depth of 4 inches. That includes the knobs on front too. So yeah, it's a pretty heavy radio and a good size. So let's go over size comparison. What do I got laying around here? We got a Skywave that can fit right in the speaker area. It's pretty funny. And then we have a deck of cards here. Yeah, again, fits in the speaker area. Yeah, I just don't have enough room to put bigger radios next to it, but it's probably on par with my Super Radio as far as size goes. This might be just a tad taller or almost the same size. So yeah, this Super Radio is just a little wider, but gives you an idea for size. One of my bigger portable radios, and one of my more heavy portable radios too. So let's go over features of the radio. So on the left-hand side here, pull it up there, it might bump the tripod. We have 3 jacks. We have an MPX out. We have a rhythm in and record out function, and we have a headphone jack. So it's kind of interesting technology they had back in the day with this cool design. I really like this cabinet, the way they designed this. And then here at the top, see if I can show this, turn this here. There's a strap, and it has this quick release that you can pull and take the strap off, which is kind of nice. But I'm going to leave it on here. All right, let's go to the front of the radio. Yeah, there's a lot going on here on the front. So I can bring it up under the camera here. We have a light switch, so when the power's on, you just momentarily hold this down, and incandescent light lights up the tuning indicator there, and then the dial. But it's very light, very dim light. It's not a very strong light. Here we have the power on/off switch, the tuning battery level needle there. You can see we have the dial indicator. Let me show you that. There you go. I can get to the camera. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So you notice the switch there. It's for the FM AFC. You can turn it on or off. And when you're on AM, you have DX and local. There is your dial there. You have the FM, AM, Marine Band, Shortwave 1, Shortwave 2, and CB. And you can see the ranges here. And actually it's printed there in a little tiny lettering. 88 to 108, 525 to 1605. Marine Band's 1.6 megahertz, 3.9. Shortwave 1 is 3.9 to 12 megahertz. Shortwave 2 is 12 to 30 megahertz, and CB is 26.8 to 28.4. So there you are. And of course, switches here. We have a BFO, which is great, so you can listen to hams. I earlier was listening to ham calling CQ, which is pretty interesting. And then we have the CB. Turn it off. But yeah, CB switch to access that second part on that last band. All right, what else we got? We got some more stuff here. We got bass, treble controls. Yes, love it. Oh, this thing has a lot of bass. Amazing. Volume control, simple. We have a speaker, 6.5 inch. They call it dual range. Awesome. We got a sticker here, limited 2-year warranty. I think it's up. Okay, so going to the right-hand side of the radio, we have that strap release here, and we have a tuning knob, which is really cool. Simple to tune. I like doing this this setup here. It's got a little tiny knob you can hang on to also if you want to. So that works out really good for quick tuning. Then we have fine-tuning BFO right here. And down here we have a 120-minute on-off timer. So it's cool, the old school mechanical timer to turn off the radio. Love it. And Panasonic. And this is a front panel, it's all aluminum, like a brushed faceplate. I think that's really cool. All right, so top of the radio. So where this radio is really cool, similar to the RF-2200, you have the gyro antenna. Yeah, so I can show that on camera. It pivots up, and of course it turns 90 degrees in each direction. It's pretty cool. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be shooting from above, so I'm going to fold this back down gently. There we go. We have an antenna here that comes up quite the distance. This is a 41-inch antenna and great sensitivity. Of course, we saw the strap already here. Glad it's on there. This thing's so heavy to move around. Let's go to the back of the radio, and then we'll go finish that up, and then we'll turn this on and see what it sounds like. I'm really impressed with the reception of this radio. So, all right, let's do the back. So on the back here, you'll notice there's external antenna input for the, let's see, is it FM and AM. They show you how to wire that up. Pretty neat there. They show the ground and antenna for the AM and then the dipole for the FM. Input for the AC. Mine did come with AC cord, just kind of beat up looking, so I didn't really want to show that on camera. Here is the model number, RF-1150B. There's your power source. You have 4D batteries or the AC adapter, and it uses 8 watts of power. Made in Japan. Sweet. This is all a vented cabinet here, and behind here is where the tuning capacitor is, and the dust had gotten through these holes, of course, and that's why I had to clean that up. Here's the battery compartment. I don't really want to set this down right on the face, but we're going to open this up for you. There's a little tab here. You just pull, squeeze this together, and then it pulls that off. So we got our 4D batteries. Pretty simple. And there's a little spot for the earphone. So let's go ahead and get this back on here. Okay, great. Let's talk about FM reception. This thing is great on FM. All right. So with the antenna, 41-inch antenna, and this thing, I turned off the AFC and sat in my usual spot in my living room on my couch where I do all my FM testing and all my radios. And I was able to do quite a nice test with this one. So let's go over that. So the FM sensitivity was good to very good. That's a 3.5 star rating, which on an analog radio is phenomenal. It's probably one of the best ones I've done with an analog. I'm going to probably say the best. I'm not sure about my GE Super Radio. I might have to test my GE Super Radio again. Now I got GE Super Radio 2, might compare it to. But this one got 70 stations, and it was just amazingly sensitive. Just loved it. And I was barely having to move the antenna, so that was a big plus. FM selectivity was good, of course. I was able to tune those stations in. Touchy tuning, because they don't give you much room there on the dial, but I was able to get those stations and having fun with that. So overall, 3.25 star rating, amazing. Out of 5 stars. For an analog radio, that's really good. Very impressed. So let's go ahead and do a little sound here. I got Radio Todderbert playing on an FM transmitter. I do this so you guys get an idea what it sounds like. Here is the C-Crane FM transmitter 2 on 92.9 megahertz. And you can see it is transmitting right now an MP3 player that I have hooked up to it, playing YouTube sanctioned music, royalty free. And we'll go ahead and turn on the radio and tune in that station. So make sure we're on FM. Turn it on. We'll run this for a few minutes.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
There we go. Go ahead and turn that off. Turn that off. Okay. So yeah, that was a little audio presentation I like to do on most of my videos now. So you get a general idea what these sound like. A lot of bass. The speaker sounds really, really good. Loving the bass treble controls. I still have to take this apart fully and clean this volume potentiometer. You will hear the cracking there. Typically what I like to do is, just turn off the radio, run this back and forth a few times, and that cleans it up for my tuning sessions typically until I can get this front plate off and get behind to get to that volume potentiometer. I was able to get to the back okay, but the front was a little bit more work, and I didn't want to get too involved with the radio because it was working fairly well. I'm pretty happy with it so far. But this is what you can do if you get a little scratchy control. A lot of times just working it back and forth. We'll clean it up for a little bit. So we'll go ahead and hook up the shortwave, which is pretty cool. I got my little wire here. Nothing spectacular. It's this little Texan wire. It's in my window in the inside downstairs here, so I can get a little bit of reach. And this thing is super sensitive on shortwave, and we'll probably pick up some stations. It's right at dusk now, and I'm going to go ahead and just pull my antenna up a little bit. Just going to reach over the camera. Yeah, I gotta get to a nice spot there. Okay, great. So I hooked up the wire to the antenna, and we're gonna turn on. Now this is interesting. They call it the marine band back then. So let's go ahead and turn that on. Now the marine band, if you look here, was printed 1.6 megahertz to 3.9 megahertz. And we'll go ahead and see what we can hear there. Turn this. We're gonna hear some AM stations first, probably.
Drinks, that turns into free drinks. So there you go.
If you take
So we're hearing a top part of the band, which is fantastic. I think this music here is 1700.
And we've got people in, and they put
I'm gonna tune it up here and see what we can hear. Hopefully pick up something. And if we hear any ham, I'll try to tune them in here. Interesting about ham activity on this radio, it fades in and out, and you have to use this fine tuning quite a bit. Makes it for a fun experience. Oh yeah, we're going to use Skywave here. It's 5:25 p.m. Central Standard Time near Chicago, Illinois, USA, and leaves us for a frequency checker on the AM band. All right. usually only matters on AM. Glad I thought of that. I would have figured that out pretty quick. But I think I heard 2.5 megahertz there, barely. A lot of noise here. Okay, so that's 3330 kilohertz. The Canadian time signal. Glad I was able to find that. I'm gonna do some cool band scans where I'm gonna do daytime and nighttime upstairs, which I'm gonna hear a lot more. There we go. So if I hear these guys.
The crowd lining forward. That's round riding pretty bad. New street. The barn. My barn, they tore down. Built another barn very close where mine was. And put up quite a bit of new fencing. And I can't tell from the red light that the utility poles with those big lights on them, that survived or if it's gone. I just can't tell.
So it fades. You're really finessing this dial here to get the hams in. Pretty cool. Go to shortwave 1, and I'm going to go all the way back to the top of the dial here and go down. And yeah, we'll pick up a little bit of what was on the other band. Some ham activity with full AM. Today is a good propagation day. So we're on column here, shortwave 1. Let's get some broadcast stations. So 5 megahertz.
Me here now. And when I say that, pay get furious.
Brother Stare, I think on
But here's what I'd like you to do.
5025 kilohertz.
I come into the broadcast 2 or 3.
That music was 5085 kilohertz. They play a lot of music out of Tennessee there. Pretty cool.
There's nothing I can do about it.
More Brother
The
Stare.
folks are now receiving.
Babish has said the Deutsche Welle story was made up. Junior coalition partners, the Social Democrats, have come out against a plan by Prime Minister Andrej Babiš of ANO for the creation of a government district in Prague's Letňany.
The lawsuit looking through.
Michael Powers, security insurance group professor of risk and finance from Tsinghua University, as well as Professor Yao Fujie, Shanghai professor of economics.
Manifested to whom? The first one was
Martín.
Falta de educación sexual, pocas opciones de recreación, profesionales y guantánameros opinan sobre de abortos entre adolescentes.
So here's what I'd like you to understand.
Cool. CW.
Todos aquellos que en vivo, en el noticiero Televisión Martí y después en el cañonazo de las Blancas.
Y cuando regresemos, Bobby Salamanca Jr.
Alright, so you get an idea. I'm going to do a full band scan, so there's a lot more to this. I mean, there's stations all the way to the top, I'm sure. So 10 megahertz on this radio shows up at 9 and at 10.
Con interferencias producidas por potentes transmisores y para contrarrestar.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go to AM real fast. Dial it back to the bottom. And we'll just scroll through it just to give you a general idea of dusk, what it sounds like. And then we'll go to those band scans in the future. You guys will like those.
The latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. Time now for the M30. 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again.
Maybe there should be.
My head is too large for my body as it is. I kind of bobble if you see me in the hallway. Plus, the Bucks play tonight. They'll have the highlights tonight. At
News anchor size head, you know.
I like the bobble effect. Though.
The bobble.
Hold them to 94 a game type of defensive team. And that's what Tibbs did. Tibbs was, we're going to do 2-hour practices because I'm going to develop these players. And I've got Ron Adams, and we're going to work these guys, and we're going to be the best defensive team in the league.
And doctors usually won't order preventive screening without symptoms because insurance companies typically...
It'll be either the Mets taking on the Nationals or the Cubs facing the Cardinals, a decision expected to come after opening.
Right now it looks to be a problem-free drive on the QEW, but it's busy as well from Mississauga over towards the 427. The professionals at Team Logic IT don't wait for computer problems to happen. They monitor your system 24/7 to avoid issues before they happen, and they make sure you don't...
Haskins and Kyler Murray.
Haskins is no joke as well.
News time, 5:37.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO.
There's so much to see. Extortion and blackmail. I have decided to publish exactly what your sisters there
said, look, that was the one, that was like, if you listened...
Shapiro. We may be done as a country, guys. Weekdays 2 to 5. It's time to hang it up and turn it in. On WLS, AM 890.
No, Jim Acosta.
Come in. And
no matter what you crave, find it.
Wonderful surprise, too, on the...
Full details on the example policies at support.com/policy.
Repeat what you're saying.
Probably a pretty good bet.
Do you put it on the fan to stop showing place over?
Here's Jared.
There you go.
Start of the season. He's been out since the start of the season.
You can even meet famous designers / Illumicrafts.
Sometime
In the first round of the 2002 MLB, offers don't combine. Clip stock up.
The issue of jury nullification.
7 or 10 from 3 and win over
Our delicate, heart-shaped.
And if you do and you're damned if you don't, if you're LeBron James at this point.
More money than time, then definitely the right...
February 8th, it's already made. It's not going to be messy. I can actually pick it up and walk it.
The inaugural season of the Alliance.
All right, there we go. So we'll go ahead and turn this off. All right, the Panasonic RF-1150. Oh boy, this is such a fun radio. Old school at its best. I mean, mid-70s, I was running around like a little kid. Didn't know anything about these things. But this radio, it's like one of those jewels of my collection. It is a great radio. I hope some of my viewers out there have the privilege to own one of these or tune one of these because it is a lot of fun. Very, very enjoyable. It's a very basic tuner setup. Yeah, you don't have quite your fine tuning, but I'll be honest with you, I've found quite a bit already with this, and you're going to see in the band scans what it's capable of. We'll take our time and go through them a little slower. But I found that shortwave, we're going to spend a lot of time on shortwave because this thing's just so sensitive on shortwave, and it's a lot of fun finding those stations with it versus my digital radios. I'm having a blast. So if you enjoyed the presentation and review of the Panasonic RF-1150, please give me a big like. Also, if you're looking to buy this radio on eBay, typically good examples run about $100 to $150. I must have got lucky around 100. It has its issues where I got to clean the volume still. And I had to clean a tuning capacitor because it was really bad. As I tuned it would just crackle like crazy. But yeah, a good example should be around 150. Don't spend any more than that. I don't think the radio, I've seen them at 200, but you're getting close to that 2200 RF category. And I'd probably go with that route, the 2200, if you're going to be over $200. But this radio, around $100 is a good deal. A lot of fun to play with. Enjoyable for the collection. Looks good. not even on. I love it. It's just amazing. So yeah, two, if you're new to the channel, you love Panasonic, you love the old classics, you're not subscribed, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon. I'm always looking out for some cool radios like this. So, get notified right away when I do reviews and band scans of these things. Just amazing. And then 3, of course, comment below what you think about the classic RF-1150 Tech Series, Tech 1000. I know there's different names. There's a Cougar, a branded one also, I think, in Japan. So pretty awesome. Loving it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care and goodbye.